Hi everyone, so I'm really looking forward to today's Busted Out because the other day I had bought some items and I forgot to haul them, so maybe I'll do the haul later, I don't know, from Hobby Lobby. And one of those things was die cuts, and then I think what happened was I showed you guys something that reminded me, I showed you guys die cuts, I don't know why, and I said, oh, maybe that's another Busted Out I should do, because how many die cuts did we buy back in the day? Even the ones that come with like Anna Griffin mink and you're supposed to foil them and then like you never did and all those kind of things, right? So what was funny is that I pretty much have gotten rid of all my die cuts, and I'll show you right now what I mean by die cuts. Not the ones that we make, you know, ourselves, but something like this. And I mean, there were tons of them, right? Everyone loved these. We have our Prima flowers. Oh, maybe I should include some Prima flowers. We will see. That might be something else I'll pull out. I had just mentioned that after I said the die cuts, I thought, oh, and the Prima flowers never used, right? So I'm literally looking at like tubes and tubes and tubes of them right here on my craft area, on one of my desks here. But anyhow, so this is what I mean by die cuts. It's just pieces that you can use, you know, to decorate whatever your cards, however you want to use them. But I just bought these last week, but it's a good thing I did because I really don't have any. Like, I got rid of them because, you know, they all kind of went along with a paper pad or a certain style. And I mean, it's not anything I was going to use. So as we're purging and cleaning and purging, I mean, I still have tons of stuff in my garage. People always say, oh, you know, I like your space. Oh Lord, my garage probably has 3/4 of what I really have. Like, this is probably 1/4 of what I have in here in this room. The garage is ridiculous, but I know where things are in there, so it's good. It's pretty organized, other than we need to get rid of more stuff. But, you know, all these little things we used to get back in the day, right? All these little die cuts. And these are, like I said, more recent. They're Tim Holtz, and I'm sure when he uses them, he probably distresses them and does fun things. I haven't watched him in a while, but I know he's come out with some fun new things. But they're really nice and sturdy, so I was like, oh, I'll just use these, because I had just bought these, which is too funny that I was like, oh, I'll have all those die cuts. And I had to actually buy, and the reason I bought these is because they're so pretty. So anyway, so there's lots of stuff in here. Looks like flowers, maybe birds, a lot of butterflies. It just is Tim Holtz ideology, layers, botanical something or other, the labels in there. Let me see if I can, yeah, just botanical it says. So we're gonna use those. And then I also thought, okay, how about embossing folders? How often do we really pull out embossing folders? So I want to make a card using the die cuts, using embossing folders. I just pulled this one out, like literally I just grabbed it from here. I mean, I have 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 others sitting right next to me. I kind of try to keep these things together. And I have this little tray holder here that's holding a lot of them. So I just grabbed this one. I thought, oh, this is good because it has flowers. So I'm going to do kind of an Anna Griffin inspired card, okay? So we're also going to use our nesting dies. Now, I know we always buy them, like, oh yeah, we need all these. And I was looking for circular ones, and I thought, why am I limiting myself to a circle? So I want to make an aperture. So we're going to see through the different layers. We're going to see the dies, hopefully, within there. And so we're going to use, I just pulled this out. This is super old. I went and looked through like my old dies just so it would be something I had to bust out. And this is a Sizzix set by Stephanie Bernard. The framelits, I don't know. That's all it says. Well, it should have a name as far as the style. Where is it? I know it's somewhere on here. Oh, Labels Regal. So I also pulled out some paper just to get it going. So we are going to layer this up a couple ways, and I want to use black paper for the base. This is going to have to be a 5x7 card, otherwise it's going to be very small, and the dies, a lot of the die cuts are a little bit larger. So even though it's not normally my style of card, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to cut down this card base. Am I going to cut down this card base? Probably not here, huh? This is going to have to be cut down somewhere else. So I'm going to cut this card base to 10 by 7 because it's a standard A2 size piece of paper. So, you know, it's 8.5 by 11. So we're going to cut it 7 tall and at 10. So that's going to be the card base. And then I'm going to layer up on top of it. I don't know. Should we see through? Yeah, we should see through it, huh? Okay. Oh, I love the pink. I wanted the white to be sandwiched in the middle, so I'm literally just making up these numbers right now as we're talking. So let's do white in the middle, and I want it to peek out around even the other frame. So let's cut this. Let me see if we're doing 5x7. Let's do 4 3/4. So just a little bit of black around the edge. 4 3/4. And when you use the guillotine, again, always hold this down or else you're gonna get a crooked cut. And secondly, my nail was long enough the other day that when I went like this, my nail got in there. And I noticed, so I stopped, but like I have a notch in my nail now. Actually, I have 2 notches, so I must have done it twice. I don't know if it's gonna be able to focus on this nail. So be careful, oh my goodness. So try to keep your fingers like this, I guess. All right, by 7, this is a bummer because this thing does not go out as far as I need it to. I don't want to bring up the large guillotine I just picked up. So let me do some math. This is 8.5 inches long. So we want to cut off 6 3/4. So we want to cut off 1 1/4 inches. So instead of running this way, we're using this measurement to cut off what we need, right? I hope. That sounds right. Let me think. 6 3/4. Oh, this is 8.5. Hey, I need to take another half off. I just had 8 in my head. Sorry, guys. 8.5. So we should take off about 1 3/4 inches. I might have just messed that up. I don't even know if I measured that right. But we're going to cut this, however you do it, at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, okay? And then this guy, we want to cut this one. Again, just a little smaller. So 4 Do we want to go 4.5? We can go 4.5. I didn't want to see through it too much, but yeah, let's do it. 4.5. And this time I will just eyeball this. I want this to be 6.5. So the very end of this thing, you can see that there's a quarter, and where it might end for another quarter. And I should put a line on it, that way I know exactly, but we're gonna do that one for 6.5, okay? Let me see how this works out with that white piece behind it. If I did, yeah, I butchered this piece of paper, so we're gonna cut that one again. And then what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna open this up and get this ready. I think I'm gonna use some of the smaller apertures, so we're gonna do like a card. Obviously you guys saw it in the intro, but basically I want to use maybe, let me see how big this one is. I want it to be noticeable, so I don't want it to be like this little weenie opening, but this other one's way too big. So it looks like these two is what I'll be using. If you need to know sizing on these are about, this is about 3.5 inches, and this is the one that nests right under that. So that should work. I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna cut a new piece of white paper. We're gonna get this out. Oh, I forgot. I want this to open up and see through all the way to some pretty flower paper. And I was looking through my paper stacks. I got this from Crafters Play not too long ago. It's Stamperia. And when I went to open it, I didn't realize it's actually a pad, which is really nice. And every paper is almost, I think every paper is different. And they're so pretty, you guys. Oh my gosh, this is like the thickest, most prettiest paper. So if you see this on Crafters Companion, anything Stamperia, I would recommend it. Look how pretty these papers are. And I'm like, oh, it's a bummer to cut these. But you know what? This is the cover paper, and all it has is little pieces on the back, which I guess you could use for other things. But look at this. So I want to use this. So I am going to cut this one probably as big as the white piece. So I'm going to cut a piece of this 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I'm going to cut the white piece and I will be right back. Okay guys, quick note, and I've done this so many times before, and maybe you guys have noticed in the videos, or maybe I'm like, oh, just forget it, you know. If you use the guillotine for the scoring, it is off. I don't know how you would do this and not be off, which is so weird because from here to here it says it's 1 inch, right? From the cutting line to here. So if you use this, and you know, I'll butt up my paper like this, right? We have our card base. I'm gonna back up a little bit. And so, you know, I'll get it, and I'm like, okay, I butt it against there because that's, I mean, how much further? I try to kind of line it up with the cutting edge, and I come in here and I measure. But if you go a little bit too far, you're going to be about 1/8 of an inch off, maybe 1/4 of an inch. And I've done it so many times, I just did it right now. So this is our card base, again, 10 by 7, and I'm going to score it at 5 inches. The first time I scored it off. So this is not the most reliable thing for me, because you really have to make sure it's right on that silver cutting edge. And no further, right? So if you're going to use it that way, just make sure you're aware of that, because I've had this happen so many times. I literally just cut, and then my white paper, I don't know what was going on. I cut it again 3 more times, you guys. I was off every time. So I don't think that's the guillotine cutter. I think that's me. I don't know what's going on. I was super flustered this morning after opening up that Up to You desk I thought was going to be so awesome, and it just had, I don't know, it didn't work for me, but I do hear from a lot of you guys that it's great, so I wish it had worked out for me because I really like it, but no. Alright, so what we're going to do right now is cut some apertures. So I was going to cut a larger one here, and then a smaller one nested in there, but on this one, right? So that this opening is smaller than this one. So I'm just eyeballing this, and then for the next one we will have to make sure we're where we want it to be. So, I mean, you can put your card, you know, and your grid lines and kind of line it up so you know that you're kind of straight. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with something like this, but you can kind of see right down the middle, like, okay, if I want it to be wherever I need it to be set up. But that looks pretty good, just eyeballing this. And I'm gonna glue it I'm gonna glue it. I'm gonna use my tacky tape more towards the center because this is gonna come out and I don't want it to rip my paper, which sometimes happens. And let's get this. Yeah, I was totally flustered. And then when I started thinking about what I want to do for this card, I'm like, okay, center yourself. Think about it. Get over the thing. Oh, it was putting it back away, right, with all the styrofoam so I could send it back to HSN is like a nightmare. So I have my plastic shim, I have my magnetic mat, and the other cutting plate. I'm gonna run it through my junior here. It's a very simple die, so I don't think we need to do anything too extra for that. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've been planning things. I built a new little bench out of, what's this stuff called? A cinder block. Ooh, it's so pretty. And I'm cutting it first because then we're going to send it through to do the embossing, okay? So if you emboss it first and then go cut it, you're going to smash a lot of your embossing, so it was not even necessary, right? So let's get this going. And planted some pomegranates that I've had since last year. So they're my little babies that I nursed to the size they are now, and now we got them in the ground. Hopefully the gophers don't eat it. All right, you guys have gophers? They're the worst. Okay, so I do have some gardening videos coming up to show that. Not that gophers are the worst, but they are. All right, so we're gonna put this down, and I just lined it up so it's nice and even all around. So I'm just using that as an aperture for me to see where I need to cut my white paper, okay? And so then we're gonna take this little guy. Is that the same? No. What the heck? Oh yeah, it's just rounded on the die. I'm like, why is it round? And again, you can, I'm just eyeballing this up and down, left and right, but that's pretty good, I guess. So now I'm gonna put this on here. I can remove this. Hopefully this guy doesn't shift on us. And we're gonna cut that out. So I'll go over the sizes again just in case, because I know it was tricky when I was cutting it, and then I don't want you guys to get confused. Oopsie. All right. So now we have the second one cut. And this can be any aperture you like, right? So we have our base card. Again, it's a 5x7 card. This piece is cut just like the white piece. And it's so pretty. Look at that. Just, oh my gosh, this paper. I love it so much. And it's just the backside of that, you know, the scrap that you wouldn't have probably used. This topper right here is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. The white piece is also 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And we're gonna layer this up with dimensionals, so don't worry that it's right on there. I mean, it could be right on there, I guess, if you wanted to. And then this guy is gonna go over on top of this, and this guy is cut at 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. Okay, so there's some different sizing there. And then we're gonna open this guy up. Ugh, I usually keep these packages, but for embossing folders, I don't know if it's super necessary, so I'm just gonna cut this. Those are my Tim Holtz. I actually got some in the same haul where I haven't done the die cuts. I got the Tim Holtz, the smaller ones. Okay. And Crafter's Companion has changed things up. I guess they listen to people, like, why? So what happens now, I believe, yes, is if you want the color of your paper, the embossing to come up on the right side of the paper, you go ahead and line it up with the Crafter's Companion being in front. They used to do it in the back. It makes no sense. I'm like, why is that? So we're gonna emboss both of these the exact same way. So I'm gonna put this through, and then I'm gonna put the white one through. The white one's not really gonna show that much other than that little inner edge, so, but I just think it's nice. So let's bring out our embossing folders, guys. I know we have lots of them. I know you have them. Let me put this to the side. We need a cutting plate. This is supposedly a 3D embossing folder, so I only need the 2 cutting plates. If it doesn't look deep enough, I will add a metal shim, or I will go to the plastic plate if it doesn't want to take it in. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Well, no, it's taking it. So what happens sometimes that's too much, and I'd rather have you use a plastic shim and the metal shim and 1 cutting plate, right? That was really a lot, so I'm gonna do it differently this next time. Look at this thing. Woo! It's like a... Now I know what you did. A girl that always comments here, she told me the thing shot out across the room. I'm like, no. Yes, it did. That was too tight for the 3D embossing folder. But it's very pretty. It's very, very embossed, you guys. That is embossed, okay? No doubt about that. So let's do this one different. We're gonna run the white one through. And I always tell you guys, start with less pressure. I totally forgot with the 3D embossing folders. Where's Crafter's Companion? I guess with this one doesn't matter because they're both the same on both sides of the paper. But if you have a right side to your paper, definitely put that facing up. We're gonna use 1 cutting plate, and we're gonna use the white mat. And this, whatever this does, I'm just gonna use it. Yes, that's what it was, guys. Do not use 2 cutting plates. It almost even made my legs hurt. Like when something scary happens, like when someone's about to hit you in the car or you notice and you're like, oh, little adrenaline. Ugh, that didn't do anything. Nope, let's do it again. All right, this one, and metal plate. Ooh, so I'm using the metal plate and the other cutting, but I'm not gonna go back to 2 plates, that's too thick. With a regular plastic embossing folder, you can do that, but with the 3D embossing folders, supposedly they are thicker and you should not use 2 plates. Yeah, I think even Anna Griffin's the same thing. She's like, no, no, no. But okay. See, it still isn't that great. Wow. That's interesting. Look. Oh, okay, let's do it again, but I'm not gonna, well, you know what? That's weird. I wonder if my machine is now like, oh, you better send me 2 through. Okay, let's not do that. Let's do, not this one. Let's do this one. Let's do magnetic, matte, and plastic. Because magnetic's a little bit thicker, obviously, than the other one. That sounds better. That sounds good. That sounds like it's getting it. You can kind of tell by the sound of the machine whether it's struggling or actually doing something. Wow, this is, okay. All right, that's better. Not as good as when it shot out. I'm gonna tell you right now, look at this. Look at the difference here. Can you see that? I don't know, this one looks better to me. Why is it so dark? I don't know. All right, they look very pretty though. All right. Did I tell you guys the name of this embossing folder? It is Rambling Rose 3D embossing folder from Crafter's Companion. All right, guys, we're almost there. Sorry, this is taking forever. We haven't even gotten to the die cuts. Okay. So let's put that to the side. I don't know if I want to use actual sticky, like this kind of stuff. I'm kind of into using the 3D glue gel. Because these are like, ugh. Let me figure out what I want to use. Do I have the Crafter's Companion ones? I have the Crafter's Companion ones are like sizable. Oh, these are tiny. These are tiny, tiny ones. Let me go grab some other okay, tabs. So I do have the whole foam roll strips, right, from Crafter's Companion, which would be really great. But I also have these, and these are some of my favorite ones. They're double-sided, obviously, 24 by 12 by 3. And I don't know if you can tell, they're kind of long. They're cut in like rectangles. But again, I do have the whole foam strip, so I could definitely do that. But let's stick this guy down, because he's gonna have to go down here. This paper is so pretty, my goodness. I would buy more of that just for that one piece, but I don't remember it being inexpensive. I don't think they're too expensive, but you only get 1 sheet of each one. So that's kind of a bummer. Oh my goodness, I need this to be perfectly... And I don't know, I guess because I'm here by myself at the house, I don't know if you guys realize, I always leave my TV on in the background, so hopefully you can't hear it too much, but right now I think it's the Kobe Bryant memorial. So sad with his little daughter. That's the worst part. So I can hear in the background here. Let's see here. All right, let's get our die cuts going. Pick what we want. There's a lot in here. So the whole point of this was to make up a scene with the die cuts you already have. So, oh my goodness. I'm just gonna put these to the side over here and pick some out. These are so pretty, you guys. Look at these. My gosh. It's almost overwhelming. What do I want to do here? So let's say we have some of those guys. I do want them to have some dimension though, not just to lay there like that, but that's okay. For now, hold on, let me think. We have flowers. These flowers are really big. Again, I'm sure he does pretty distressing and all kinds of gorgeous things. Look at this one. Ooh, I can put this down here and you won't even see that ribbon, but it doesn't matter. Let's put that guy there. And this is all gonna be elevated, right? So we have, oh my goodness, I love it. Well, this is a pretty one. Hold on. Put that there. Put this here. And maybe another kind of butterfly. So I'm picking the ones that are a little bit smaller, right? Just because I want them to fit in here. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do something like that for now. And then if I want to do more, we will do more. So those are very, very pretty. So I'm going to do and not waste your time watching me like, oh, I'm going to remove these things. I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to put probably all of these, but not like that, all over. So this card is going to be a lot of dimension. I might just use 3D glue gel for the one that goes on top of this because that's going to be a lot. Have you guys seen sometimes there's foam that are like black, that way when you look in there you don't see it, or sometimes people color the foam, you know, at the very top so it looks less noticeable depending on the color of, you know, what you're doing, what you're using. Let me put this here too just for a little extra. Okay, I said I'm not going to waste your time, but basically I had you guys sit here and watch me do this anyway. But let me do this quickly. My nails are helping out here. Yeah, we planted some pomegranates, and then I was like, maybe they're too close together. Because you watch people that have like nurseries, and they're like, put 3 plants in one hole. Because usually they're like, oh, you need all the spacing. But the whole spacing thing really has to do with, like, a commercial grower has to get equipment there. It's not so much because the tree needs that much spacing. But some plants do still need spacing, right? So I'm like, how is that? I was watching a bunch of Dave Wilson nursery videos because I love their plants and trees, and they're out of like the Central Valley, basically Modesto, I think is where they're from. But I'm like, that's so crazy. So they're always experimenting. They do basically what we're trying to do is a backyard orchard, what people do nowadays. And I think it's gonna be awesome. So I do have some 2-year plants, which makes me happy, like that I grew them, you know, or now they're on their 3rd year if they came from the nursery. So this one we're gonna layer right on top of the flowery one. And if you're afraid to do that, you could have made your flowery one a little bit smaller. You know what I'm saying? So it tucks in behind really nicely, but this worked out. I did a pretty good job there. All right, we're gonna glue this guy down probably at the end. And then this one, I just thought was so pretty. I love her. I love her. Okay, let's put her right there. And then let me get my syringe, I guess. My 3D glue gel. And I don't think she needs to be super thick. I'm just using this to give me a little dimension with her, right? Pretty. Okay, this guy, well, you know, I don't want to stick him down yet because I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do with him. Now this one, see, I was thinking about sticking this down with 3D glue gel, but it's kind of thin. This is just regular old stuff from Michael's. So you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and load this up also with the same stuff. I didn't want to do that, but we're gonna have to. So let me, on the back of it, I'm gonna put all this stuff and I will be right back. Okay, for whatever reason with this one, I wasn't as fast as taking these off. And I just realized I probably would get one more down here, but maybe I'll just stick some 3D glue gel under there if I need it. So I hope you guys are liking this. I know it's hard because the die cuts a lot of times are very dated, right? But I think this is a fun way to bring it to the new century here. Let's bring this up here. And I'm trying to eyeball this, but who knows before I really press it down. Okay, I'm gonna give it some presses. Oh my gosh, you guys. So it, like I said, this paper is very thin, so it's kind of like, oh, just doing its own thing. But let's get these back down. Where did I put this? I put this up here. They kind of have to go up this way, don't they? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So I don't know if the Tim Holtz thing is like making this what it is, or is it just the combination of like the apertures and all the pretty stuff that's going on? Because this is, I'm really happy with the results here. Now I realize they don't have a sentiment. Look, I'm bending the little legs, the wings. I'm gonna put that there. Maybe we're gonna add a few more because I feel like I still need some more stuff. Let's put this one, I don't know, in here somewhere. That's so cute. And maybe one or something in the background a little bit flatter. I don't know. What do we got? I'm gonna keep poking through here and I'll bring maybe some other. What if this was back up in here? Is that weird? Yeah, maybe that's weird. I think that's plenty. You know, like I said, with the overkill, like I'm not real good at that. But I do not have a sentiment. If you want to obviously stamp something, maybe cut it out. I would put it down in this corner, obviously, just to balance out the card. I would put it right down here. So let's put like, let's pretend we're going to have a sentiment there. I am using up all my little pretties. Let me see if there's something else. There's something else I could use. No, it has to be butterflies, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Look at this big old thing. You know what? That doesn't hurt anybody, does it? But that's really big. It wasn't what I was going for, but that looks really nice. How about these mid? Oh, the 3. Yes, 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 yes. They have mid-size ones. Oh, but this is the same as that one. Oh, that's a little bit different, right? Let me see if we have some other ones that still coordinate. They have some that are just sideways. These look like moths. I don't like that. Okay, let's move on here. My daughter, she calls everything a bee. Everything's a bee. She's afraid of everything. And I'm like, Miranda, it's just, oh, look at this one. He's kind of sideways on his own. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here going through all of them, but let's do this one, even though he's pretty much the same as that one. And then put your little sentiment there. A little ribbon, a little bow. Ooh, let's put him like right in here. Do we still see the flower down here? You guys, how pretty is that? I'm sorry, I was gonna say, let me just discover that I put it on the wrong side of the card, but no, I didn't. When I had to open it, I couldn't open it. I was like, no, look at that. I am really happy with this. Oh my goodness. The dimension from the top, obviously. We got those pieces on there. They're not the most beautiful thing in the world, but basically every card that's made like this has that same foam. Again, you can use a 3D glue gel. I am really happy with the texture and what's going on here. I love it. I hope you guys do too. And I know it's like, oh, I love it. Obviously, I just made it, but like, you know, I'm not really not like that. I'll be like, oh, this is, you know, cute or whatever it is. But I'm really happy with this. And this is kind of, I guess what busted out is, it's like, you don't have to follow what, you know, a company says this is how you use it. Obviously, we've had this stuff for a long time. We haven't used it. We have to do something new and contemporary with it. So think outside the box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. I'm like super happy with this card. I'm probably going to make a ton more that I'm just sitting here because I think it's so pretty. And again, you can even throw in your Anna Griffin sticker, whatever you have. Obviously, like I said, die cuts, you know, in there, and very nice effect. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.